Hello, hello, coming at you with what is new in HoneyBook. I'm in a demo account, so this looks a little more chaotic than I normally would have it, so don't judge, but thank you very much. Okay, a couple of new things in HoneyBook as of January of 2026. The number one thing that I really love is when you go inside a project and you actually want to, like, typically our habit is to type an email, right? Dear so-and-so. And then once you type it, you want to attach an invoice because we are typically writing the email and then we attach. But in HoneyBook, over the last decade, it's been backwards, right? If you want to send an invoice, you have to create the file first, find your file, and then from there, when to click share, then you write your email. So that has been sort of a learning curve for a lot of people. HoneyBook has now allowed for you to write your email, and then if you click the attach button on the little paper clip at the bottom right, left, no, wow, at the bottom right, you can now attach smart files. So you don't have to go to create file first if you want to, but if you do this, just know that typically when you're doing that, it's still going to take you to the invoice. So don't be alarmed by that. I don't know if that is something. And then some of you may or may not have the simplified invoice while we're here and talking about it. That is also another thing that is new. Just the layout is different. The function is exactly the same. Some people find this version a little easier to use and edit. One of the biggest changes that I think my clients notice is that you can now edit the bill too. So if you only have the client's first name, previously like Heathcliff's project, it would have said Heathcliff, right? It would have said Heathcliff, and we could never change it, but now you can change it before you send it out. So if you wanted to put the organization name and bill it to them instead of to the individual, you can do that. You just click and type. Purchase order, all those things are still available to you. These are all a little more clear as to what you're editing. Page 2 is going to be pay, and so a lot of people don't know where that page is, so now they just show it to you all in one page. When you do that, you're going to click attach at the top right, typically where you would hit share, and now you will see that smart file at the bottom of the email. This is where the button is going to appear. And so then you hit dear so-and-so. When you're ready to type your email, you're going to click send. So that's a huge new change. Lots of cool new things. One of the biggest things that I want to show you is going to be skip a step in automations. It is live. It is here. Everyone do a little dance because we have been asking for this for about a solid year. Okay, and HoneyBook is finally delivered. So when you do this, you're going to click have your automation, and I'm just going to put an extra couple steps in here just for the sake of our example. Just so that we have something to look at. Okay, so I'm going to do a condition. I want, usually here, a lot of my clients will say, well, I want a condition, but sometimes I'm already talking to them and I don't want them to get a follow-up email if I'm already in conversation with them. So that is a big one. Pretend this says follow-up, okay, for the sake of our email. So that is a great example. In these automation steps, if you are using 2.0, one thing to be aware of is that, and to know of, you might already know this, but if the steps are next immediately one after another, they will happen in sequential order. They will happen in instantaneous. There is nothing in between. If you want to wait 5 minutes, 1 day, 5 seconds, you need to put in the wait step. If you do not put in a wait step, they will happen in immediately one after another until it gets to either a wait step or a task or a condition. And so if you're saying, well, I just sent them the invoice and they immediately emailed me back and they're not ready, we're still working things out and hashing and ironing it out, but in 24 hours for everyone else, I do want to send that follow-up email, but not to this one particular client, right? So now the skip step is available, and that is very exciting. So I'm going to open up Heathcliff's project. You can't apply, by the way. You cannot apply an automation in 2.0. So if you were to say, well, I want Heathcliff's project to also get it, you can't just say that. It has to meet all the parameters and the conditions. So the one that we're using is moved to book, which is contract signed. I'm actually going to make this one a project stage change, and I'm going to move the pipeline to photo shoot day to trigger everything on purpose so that you can see it happening in real time. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go to projects. I'm going to go to Heathcliff, and I am going to move the stage, okay, to photo shoot day. When I do that, the automation triggered, right, in sequential order. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to refresh this page for you so that you can see all of the updated activity, but you should have seen this was my automation of moving to booked. That's the one that we just applied. The task has appeared and it's in progress because now for the next 24 hours, it's going to be, if you're looking, I'm looking at the right-hand side here. In the next 24 hours, it's waiting for a payment to be paid. So if you wanted to look at that and if you wanted to say, well, we've been chatting back and forth, Catherine Linton actually emailed me back and I already heard from her, I don't need her to get the follow-up email. You're going to scroll down to the bottom right of automations, click this little pop-up window here. So the automation for that project is going to appear. You can say run no path or run yes path. You can also say, I want to push it now, to say like, I want to do this now. So that's a skip, okay? So instead of waiting one day, I want to send the next step right now, or I want to send the yes step. So in here, if you're ending it here, because there's nothing happens, maybe another automation picks it up, then you're going to hit run yes path, and it is now completed. So that's how you're going to skip it. It's not a literal skip button, so I think a lot of people are looking for that. And that's it for this month's sort of like update. Watch my other video if you haven't already on some tools and just some quick tips of some features that already exist in HoneyBook. Have a great day.